Hey, everybody. Welcome to another video. I'm Mark Stanislawski, but I am also Good Ideas Comics, as it says right there in the lower left of your screen. We're here in the Comic Cave in the heart of Michigan, and I have this book up here, Gods and Soldiers, because me and my buddy Caesar Feliciano collaborated on this book. He's done a few books that he's kickstarted, and I used to work with him, and he is an incredibly talented artist, and he hooked. He came to me and he says, "Hey, how about I got this idea? Let's turn it into a book." And I said, "Okay." And it went through some revisions. This is, I mean, I love the double page spread. Um, but this is the our first issue and our first attempt, I guess, if you want to call it that. We kind of we wrote through it, and we printed this first issue, and we after a little bit we went back and we said, okay, let's change some things up, let's change this, let's change that. So the script went through another four drafts, and he went back and he redid a bunch of pages. So this, even though this is a printed copy, this is a rough cut. It was what we call Gods and Soldiers #1 rough cut. And we're going to be bringing this to the comic reading public in a Kickstarter, not this one, but the one that we redid. And that's going to be on Kickstarter. I will let you know and put links in the comments when all of that comes about. But we're working hard on getting that on Kickstarter for you. And what's the book about? Well, it's about two uh, Afghan veterans who, this is Mike Zisk, and he's having trouble after the war. He has some PTSD. He's having a lot of trouble uh, with civilian life, and his buddy Bruce comes to him uh, with an offer. And Bruce, after getting out of the military, out of the Afghanistan, he was recruited by the U.S. government to go around and um, procure some objects which supposedly have some supernatural power to them. Of course, he doesn't really believe that, and he says, "Hey, this object was stolen. Go get it for us, and we'll return it to the rightful owner." But this job in particular, he wants to bring his buddy in on, and so uh, they go off to Mexico to try and find this object and bring it back. And without giving anything else away, this book delves into uh, basically the origins of it makes you think about the origins of life on Earth, and alternate dimensions and parallel universes and all that type of stuff that it goes into. And it's a pretty wild ride. And once it goes on Kickstarter, again, like I said, I tell you, I'll put links, and hopefully you'll come along for the ride, because I mean, I'm biased. I wrote it and helped develop it with Caesar, but I think it's a pretty wild story, and I'm hoping you come with us. But anyway, enough of that. Let's go on to why I'm here, and that's the eBay haul that I came across. There's two books that I have been looking for several years now, and the first book we're going to get into. I've always seen the book on eBay. I always see it for $50, $60. And I say, forget it. I'm not going to pay that much money because it's not worth that much money. It's not worth 50, $60. I says, and I just keep looking. I keep looking. I keep looking. And I came across it. But it was part of a lot. But the deal was so ridiculous. It was so ridiculously good that I could not pass it up. And so I bought the lot, and here let's take a look at it. Silver Surfer. This is the what, volume two, volume three, whatever they call it. From it began in 1988, I want to say, right? Ran into the 90s. So I got 131, 132. These are all near mint books. 133, 134, 135. Oh, with Agatha Harkness up, and then 136 with Mephisto. 137, 138, 139 with the gargoyle. Remember gargoyle? 140, and it makes sense that gargoyle because J.M. DeMatteis, who was writing Silver Surfer, Mateus co-created Gargoyle in the Defenders. So it's good to see him. Anyway, 140, 141, 142, 43 with, was that Psycho Man, right? 144, 145, which is the next to last issue. But this lot had 146, Silver Surfer 146. The last issue, that is the book that I've been looking for a long time. There are 16 issues here. The seller had it up for $28 for 16 books, plus shipping. I offered 23. We came to an agreement on 25. So $25 plus. So I paid like 31 and change. So roughly, I paid $2 a book. So I paid $2 for the last issue of Silver Surfer, which is way better than the $50, $60 you see on eBay. And this is why I keep doing hauls and doing videos of hauls, is because I'm trying to show you, you don't have to overspend, and don't overspend on books. They use the tactics of saying it's a low print book, it's rare, it's this, it's that. It is neither of those things. It is none of those things. It is not a low print book. It is not a rare book. The book's all over the place. Um, say orders for this issue were 25 and a half K. So it is not low print. So, and the people who say that either have no idea what they're talking about, or they're just using that word to try to get you to buy it for their overinflated price. But it was nice to get this $2 a piece, and you know, to kind of confess, is I already have 131 to 145 in my collection. But again, for $2 a piece, I couldn't pass it up, and I'm happy to have doubles of these books. And who knows? Maybe I'll try to flip them on eBay, or maybe I'll just keep them in. I don't know. I'm not sure yet. I haven't really decided whether I'm going to just keep doubles for a little bit, or just trying to flip them. And I don't know. But $2 a book, especially for the last issue of Silver Surfer. $2. It was a deal too good to pass up. I couldn't let it go. Um, and so I snagged it. This other book that I got that I'm going to show you, uh, I don't know. I may have made a mistake. I've been looking for this other book, and I saw it. I saw a bunch of different copies. Some of them were pretty beat up, um, and but I came across one, and I was like, "Huh, this has this has promise, I think." And it was, uh, I made an offer. They accepted the offer. They sent me the book. Now, when I got the book, okay, the book was in just a regular bubble envelope, and I don't know if you can see, but it's wrapped in tissue paper, and the tissue paper is taped to a piece of cardboard. The book is not bagged or boarded. It is just wrapped in tissue paper, and the tissue paper is taped to cardboard. Um, Please, if you sell on eBay, do not send your books. Do not ship your books this way. Um, uh, I got lucky, because I have very good mail carriers, and I don't know if you can see it, but there's a line here, and this was folded over, so it fit in my mailbox. I have a oversized mailbox, so it was right at the edge of the book. The edge of the book is here, so it did not. The book wasn't bent, thankfully, but I've seen the horror stories where they'll bend that book like this, whether there's cardboard in it or not, to stick it in a mailbox, especially a smaller mailbox. Again, luckily I have a large mailbox, and the book doesn't seem to have been further damaged. But I'm going to open up the book now and show you what I got. Okay, so the book that I got is Godzilla 24. That's the last issue of Marvel's Godzilla run. And this is a book that I've been hunting for a while. Um, you know, a higher grade or a high grade book of this issue is going to run you now $40 or more. So I was looking for a decent copy, but for a decent amount that won't break the bank. And it didn't have to be near mint. It didn't have to. Um, I just wanted a decent copy for it to be complete. This does have, the spine is a little raised, but there are some. It's not completely smooth, but it's a little smooth. The insides look good. A little bit of yellowing, around the outside, but I knew that, and I was fine with that. Um, I got the double page spread. At any rate, I don't think, does this have a Marvel value stamp? No, it doesn't, right? I don't think it does. I think stamps, yeah, no. So everything appears to be in order, and it appears to be good. And when I saw it, when I saw pictures of it, and I knew there was a little chip here, but there was something running down this edge of the book, and I was like, is that dirt or mold? Because it kind of looked like mold too. And I don't know if you can see it, but there's like a little bit there at the bottom. But they got back to me right away and said they had wiped it off, so it must have just been some dirt. Um, But the mistake I made was, even though I asked them if that was dirt or mold, I didn't ask them how they package their books when they send them out. I didn't realize, I didn't look. They had a low feedback score, which means either they were brand new to selling stuff on eBay, or they had sold stuff on eBay under a different account name, and they had changed their account name, and they might have changed their account name due to negative reviews, negative feedback, because of the way they packaged their books to send them out. I don't know which one it is. I've kind of been wrestling with just sending them a message saying, "Hey, you may not want to package your comic books like this in the future to other people." Um, I mean, like I said, I lucked out. They had it up for $20. I offered 15. They accepted the 15. So with shipping, I paid 21 bucks and change. And this is, I mean, this is a decent issue. It's not bad, you know. It's fairly smooth. Like I said, you got a raised spine, but I'll throw that with a bag and a board. It's got the little chip on the bottom here, kind of eating up, but it's in a little chip up top. But I mean, it's a good book, and I would say out of the 24 issues that I now have of Godzilla, probably a third of them, maybe a quarter of them. So like 6 of the 24 issues that I have of the run are kind of in rough shape. They're kind of beat up, worse than this. They're kind of beat up, but I do have them, and maybe I look to upgrading those issues. I don't know, but for now, I'm happy. I completed this run. Um, this is another book that I had been looking at for a while. I saw. Um, I've just been seeing like high grade copies for just too much, too more than I wanted to spend for sure. But happy to get this, complete my run. Uh, and yeah, and on that, along with the last issue of Silver Surfer, these are the two books that I've been trying to get for a little while. I would say at least the last 2 years, 2 to 3 years, and it was nice to finally get them. Great deal on this. Good deal on this. Again, I still don't know if I just want to send a message, because if if they did if they did change their account name and they're still sending books out like this, then they really didn't listen to the negative feedback. They're just saying, "Screw you. We're just going to send the books the way we send them. And if you give us enough negative feedback, we're just going to change our account name." But I don't know if that's what happened or not, or if they are literally brand new. So I don't know. I'm still wrestling with the decision to maybe send them a message saying, "Hey, probably not a good idea to send your books this way." But I don't know. You tell me. You let me know in the comment section whether I should send the message or not. We're gonna end this video now. Don't forget, uh, Gods and Soldiers. Be on the lookout for the Kickstarter link that I'm going to put in my videos when that starts. I'll let you know. Um, like I said, it's a fantastic supernatural story, Aztec gods, all that stuff. Um, it's a fun ride. It's a hell of a fun ride, I think. And we'll see you in the next video. And as always, we'll see you in the funny pages.